Hello everybody, this is Fernanda and today we are starting a new Meeting the Artist interview. Today we are going to meet Elisabeth, so let's call her. We're going to wait for her to connect so then we can add her to the call, and we're going to meet her not only as an artist, as you may already know her, but also as a person. You know, the idea of those interviews are to meet them deeply. There she is. All right, I'm gonna add you, Elisabeth, and we can start. Hello, how are you doing?
How good to see you.
Welcome to the interview. I'm so glad to join us.
Yeah, thank you for letting me join. This is awesome.
It's awesome for us too. Let's start right away because first of all, we would like to know you in general aspects. Could you introduce briefly yourself, please? Your name, your age, your nationality, where you live.
Yeah, my name is Elisabeth, and I am 48 years young. And I live on the west coast of Norway, outside a city called Stavanger, on an island where I love it. It's beautiful here. Yeah.
Beautiful. Were you born there? Have you been living
Yeah,
there for your life?
I'm actually born on this island. So, and I moved out later when I was in my 20s, but I returned back when I got my kids. So it's so calm and peaceful here.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Elisabeth, do you have a favorite artwork you could show us today?
Yeah,
Let's see.
do. It's here.
Amazing.
It's the fullness of time. And the reason why this is special to me, it's because the way Jesus gave it to me. It was like a puzzle, you know, and I really believe he wanted me to really lean into him and trust him during the journey of painting. So he just gave me bits and pieces, you know. So I had to trust that he knew what the painting was all about. So in the end, he revealed the name, the title of it, and what it was all about. And to me, it was powerful. So I haven't been able to sell this one.
It's so beautiful. And I know the meaning makes it heavier. Like I don't find other word to say it heavier. Like the meaning, it just makes it so meaningful.
Yeah.
Elisabeth, do you have any studies in art or something like that?
Nope.
All right.
I don't.
Did you just start doing it?
I'm an educated nurse. I've been working as a nurse for 20 years, I think, approximately. But I have no education in art, and that is actually nothing I was very interested in growing up or anything. So to me, to find out that this was the journey God wanted me to take was a surprise and a huge blessing, you know.
All right. In a while, we're going to talk more about it, and you're going to be able to explain us all the story behind it.
Yeah.
Elisabeth, how many years of experience do you have with art, and how many with prophetic art?
I think those two terms will intertwine for me because I think it was launched as prophetic art, and I started 2.5 years ago.
Oh, wow. It's pretty recent.
Yeah.
You did such a great job. Congratulations there.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you have to mention an artist who inspires you, who would that be?
There is a special artist, well known, you know, Akiana Krameric, I think her name is. Before I started to paint, I remember seeing her a lot on, you know, YouTube, and there was something in her art that moved my heart so deep, and many of her paintings are prophetic, you know, touched by God. And yeah, and also Mindy Oten, she is a Canadian artist, and she is also amazing. I follow her as well.
Nice. And if you have to choose a person that is not an artist but who inspires you, who would that be?
Then I have a couple of favorites. They're Scottish people, prophetic people. Emma Stark, she's an amazing prophetic voice for this age. And also Liz Wright. I follow her mentoring program to really lean into Jesus and listen to his voice and soak in his presence. So I love that community as well.
That's nice to know. And Elisabeth, if you have to choose 3 books that you could recommend to others, maybe other artists or prophetic artists.
Yeah, I have it here. You see, I actually thought about that. There are a lot of books I love. You know, I read in periods of time of my life when I have time, but this is actually a very good book.
All right.
And it's the Bible-based dictionary of prophetic symbols, and it's really helpful, you know. So this is something I will recommend.
Interesting. Nice. All right. And if you have to choose one quotation.
Yeah, I actually
it doesn't matter if it has something to do with art or I don't know, any quotation that inspires you. Go ahead.
Yes, that also is a special experience behind that quote, because in my we all, you know, go through life, its ups and downs, and through my darkest valley in life, I had an encounter with Jesus, and I remember a specific word he told me, and he said, "My kingdom is not of this world. You need to fix your eyes on me, look up." And that is something that has been so precious to my heart, you know, all my life, because this world is chaos and dark often. So you need to really fix your gaze on him and recognize that his kingdom is not of this world.
That's so interesting coming from a person who works with images. I imagine that when you are preparing in the process of preparing an artwork, you really need to focus on a part when you're working on that, and then you can make a zoom out or a zoom in order to keep figuring out how is that gonna work.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to see it in that perspective. And talking about this art process of production, what's the weirdest thing that happened to you?
Actually, I think the way I got this painting is really a very special experience because of the way God, you know, led me through it. But also another experience I thought about, I want to share, and that is, you know, how, you know, precious prophetic art really is. I remember I had been painting maybe for 6 months, and I had an exhibition, and on this exhibition a lady came, and she was really, you know, spiritual person, but she was not leaning into God, but, you know, like a alternative person, you know.
Okay.
And she was just standing there staring at all the paintings, and her face looked really funny, you know. And she said, "What are you doing with these paintings? Are you putting healing into them?" You know. And I said, "No, I'm definitely not doing that. I'm praying, and God is in those," you know. I tried to explain to her, but she was really feeling uncomfortable. So she had to leave because she said, "This is too powerful for me. I can't stay here," because she had some other stuff inside of her. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I told you they are heavy. I told you. They're powerful.
And God are using the art. That is powerful, you know.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. Without the Holy Spirit and His work, it would be nothing.
Yeah, it's true.
Is there something that scares you as a person?
Yeah, you know, the thing that I've of course, many things scares me as you know, a person, but like in my belief, in my faith, in my heart, the thing that scares me the most is that I don't want to be one of those that bury my talents. You know, I want the talents Jesus gave me to be multiplied. You know, I want to use them for His glory. So, yeah.
Well, that's so interesting, because actually the only person who fails on these talents is the one who was afraid and just hid it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah.
And Elisabeth, what makes you happy?
The presence of God, to be with Jesus, to co-work with him and be able to, and feel it's, an honor, and that really fills my heart with so much joy. And also to see when, people get touched through my artwork, that they can connect with God's heart through my art. That really makes my day.
I am sure, and you should have a lot of stories about this. I'm also positive.
Yeah,
Let's pass to those questions for which we're gonna have more time to talk about. Those first questions were just a rush introduction to meet you in a general way.
Yeah.
Elisabeth, well, we were talking before about this, but what made you start this prophetic art process? You said it was like a year and a half ago. What was the first point?
2.5 years ago, I started. And the journey started actually 6 months prior to that. So it's now 3 years ago. And I had, quit my work as a nurse, and I was home. And in my mind, in my heart, suddenly I could see those images, those paintings with so vivid, bright colors. And, in my belly, or I don't know, I started to hunger and cry out to God for to be able to paint. I didn't know how to paint or draw or anything. That was not one of the things I knew how to do. But my heart cried out to God, please give me this gift so I can, paint what's on your heart, so I can be your vessel through art, And this was ongoing for like maybe 6 months or so. And I remember in 2019, in January, the Holy Spirit reminded me of an old kit that my daughter got, art kits, for a birthday. So it was old and dry and everything. But I found it, and I started to paint. And I didn't know how, but actually what formed on that canvas was a little boy there with a sailboat. And then and there I just knew that God had, answered my prayer. And after that I have only been painting and painting, and it's just so amazing to do this together with Jesus.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when was the first time you listened the concept of prophetic art?
I guess that was in the process when I started, because I started to post my paintings on my personal Facebook account, and I got response and stuff. So then I opened this more business Facebook, and then I started to connect with other people, and there's something called prophetic art. So I didn't know about the term, but I know about the prophetic. I've always been into the prophetic, and hearing God's voice, and expressing his heart and everything. But actually this was not maybe the term I knew about. But also I just want to say that because the journey for me, when I'm doing this, I said to God here the other day, it's so amazing about God, because as I was 16 years old, and I was so on fire for God, and the only thing I wanted was to hear his voice and to feel his presence. And I remember after coming home from school, the first thing I did was to lock myself in my room, to just sit there and listen to his voice, because I really wanted to learn to hear his voice. And I wrote down everything he told me on notes. So I had 2 bags full of notes after that period of time. So that has been maybe something rare about me, not rare, but different with maybe my friends and stuff, because I was always so hungry for God, and his presence. So now when I can do this, it's like, it's so fitting, to sit and listen to him, and, the visions he give me, and to paint them out with him, so it's, to me, so precious.
Yeah, aren't those moments a treasure? It's so sweet. And tell me more about this that you were talking about, the images you were posting in your Facebook. how do you make this connection with the people who like your production? I don't know if you already had a chance to sell one of your artworks. And
Yeah.
how was
Yeah, how well that was actually very gradual because as I said, I did this first on my personal Facebook page, and the whole process, I really need to say that I feel God has been behind me, pushing me, because to find out everything about the face, you know, I'm not your age, you know, so to find out about Instagram and about Facebook and about everything, it's been quite a journey. And sometimes I've just wanted to give up, but at the same time I felt God, you know, pushing me and just making a path for me. So it's, yeah, I really
you
feel
did
God.
it.
What?
You did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I
There are
did
a
it.
bunch of people who just quit in the way, but you did it.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Why do you think people chooses you? Because they have a lot of offers in art and in prophetic art.
Yeah.
Why do they like what you do?
I don't know. Probably because, of course, they get touched from God through my art. So, you know, many times when I'm sitting there painting, often God shows me people, you know, and I don't know them, but I think maybe some of my art are, you know, for specific people as well. And when they see it, I think it's divine, you know, how God connects the person who is supposed to have the art.
Mm-hmm. So do
I
you
think.
first paint and then find the person to who is gonna be for, or do you know the person and then you pray or have a word and paint?
I've been doing both, mostly because I think I'm gonna do it more, you know, to paint on, you know, demand or like that. But I guess a little bit stressed out. Then, you know, I'm that kind of artist that likes to flow around, you float around and just, you know. Uh, but I've been painting for people, and then I seek God, of course, and he is always steadfast and show me what he wants me to paint out, even if I don't know what it means. But yeah.
Yeah, that's so usual.
Yeah.
Skywork is ask you, did you ever try other ways of painting like pastels or others?
No, not yet.
All right.
I'm only on the acrylics.
Elisabeth, are you part of any prophetic association group or prophetic art group,
not a
communities, like that?
not a prophetic art community, but as I'm a part of this Liz Wrights community, mentoring community, but that is more like to soak in his presence, learn to hear his voice and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
I know your paintings are a recent activity, but have you ever heard about authenticity certificates? Have you used
Yeah,
them
on prints.
for the paintings?
Yeah, yeah. For prints, I've heard about certificates, and I do those. I do both. I have these, and they are more expensive, and I also do prints here at home, and they are, you know, not that expensive. So I like to do both.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand what's this difference and why you find one expensive or another.
Uh,
Do you make the certificates or do you have a third party doing that for you?
I have a third party, but I'm talking about art prints.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
more like that. I don't do it for my paintings, though.
Okay, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. All right. And well, I have seen your YouTube channel, heard your production, how you explain everything. I try to understand you, but you need to start making videos in English too, please.
Yeah, now this is maybe an ice-breaking thing for me. So maybe now I'm gonna start to do it in English.
I'm so glad you say you it was so hard for you to work with Facebook, with Instagram, and now you even have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
fun. You know, it's amazing. You connect with a lot of amazing people.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's one of the greatest thing about this internet network. It connects us all.
Yeah,
And how do
and
you
I think
connect to your customers, to people who like your art? Do you do it online or people you know face to face?
It's mostly through Facebook and Instagram and all that, but also face to face, you know. But mostly it's online, especially now with the pandemic and everything. So
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. Easy Cook is asking you, did you ever stray from your faith, and how did you come back and relearn how to listen to God?
Yeah. I didn't go, I did go astray. You know, when I was about 19, 20 years old, I didn't lose my faith, but, you know, I was a bit in the world and did my stuff there. But I remember during those years, I had just one prayer to God. Please, God, don't let go of my hand, you know, because I felt weak in my faith. But then God connected me again to his heart through a brother in the Lord, and it just explodes. So God is faithful. When you have, you know, he will never let you go.
Amen. That's true. He is the one who chose us.
Yeah, it's true.
Listen, through this process of creation of art, what's the thing that exhausts you the most? What makes you tired or upsets you?
Yeah, that is all the organizing stuff, you know. I'm not all about that, you know, but it needs to be done because it's all about, you know, organize the company kind of thing, and I don't like that part of it. I only like the creative part.
What's the part that excites you the most?
It is to sit there with Jesus and feel his, you know, his presence. And you know, many times when I sit there and paint, I can so feel his heart and how his heart is pouring out through me, through the canvas. And to be allowed to do this, it's such a privilege and an honor to be co-working with God, you know.
Co-working. Nice.
Yeah.
Easy Cook says thank you, Elisabeth, for your answer, and thanks to you, Easy. And if you have any other questions, just tap them there. Elisabeth, what would you consider that is the main difference between Christian art and prophetic art?
Yeah. I think Christian art is more like, you know, painting out images of the Christian, you know, symbols and, you know, and Jesus and stuff. Prophetic art, it doesn't even have to be you know, a Christian image. It's just coming from God's heart, you know. And I remember, I really want to share a story, if that's okay.
Sure, please.
Yeah, because maybe a year ago, I have, with, you know, I can, God shows me visions, you know, I tap into the spiritual realm, and he shows me stuff there. And there was one evening I was sitting in my living room, and I could feel the glory and the God's presence filling my living room. And all of a sudden I could see Jesus coming into my living room with a scroll under his arm and a book in the other hand. And, you know, he was going to my dining table, and he laid the scroll on the table, and he unfolded it, and it was a map, a huge map. And I was sitting in my chair, you know, with big eyes and just couldn't move. And Jesus looked at me and said, "Are you going to sit there? I'm going to show you something. You need to come here." So I need to go to the dining table, and I could see this river all across this map, and it was separating a landscape. On the one side it was a desert land, you know, all dead, nothing there, only dust and stones, and on the other side you can see this vibrant living nature, you know, trees and the grass and flowers and birds, and it was just so vibrant and alive. And then all of a sudden I could see bridges appearing, all kinds sort of different bridges connecting, you know, the desert landscape and the vibrant, amazing landscape. And Jesus said to me, "This is what your task is. Every one of my children are created to make bridges, you know, with their talents and gifts, different kind of bridges to connect this dying world to my world, you know, into his fair. And it was just so, yeah, it's really blessed my heart so much, because that is what prophetic art and, you know, his gifts in general, what we're actually doing, are connecting a dying world to his amazing kingdom.
Indeed.
And it's a privilege.
Connection, key word for prophetic art.
Yes, connection. Yes.
Did it happen to you that sometimes you don't get inspired to paint, to make a production, and
That
it's the case that you don't get inspiration? And what do you do?
Yeah, of course that is happening. Yeah. Yeah, and when that is happened, I'm always going to Jesus, and he said, okay, now you have spent too little time with me. And that is always the answer, because when I connect with him again, the flow starts, you know, because he is the flow of my art history and everyone, you know, the source is in him.
Mm-hmm. And you told before how you have kids and your family, your personal life, how you balance all these with your artistic life.
That is actually a challenge, you know, because this can really consume everything. And of course it does, because it's also my walk with the Lord. So that is nothing you put on hold. But as God has talked to me about, you need to be more organized and set aside time to when to create and when to be with the family. So has been a challenge indeed.
All right.
Working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's loading.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Elisabeth, what makes you a prophetic artist? What makes you different?
I guess it is to connect with the heart of God and paint out what he wants me to paint, and to be his vessel and his, you know, his instrument into this world, I guess.
Thanks for sharing with us all your stories, opening your house and all these through all those questions. I have 5 surprise questions for you. For everybody who's watching it, she didn't know about it, so this is totally surprise. Those are only yes, no questions. Of course, if you would like to develop something else, you can do it. Let's see. Number 1. Do you assist to 3 or more events that are related to prophetic art or prophecy during a year? 3 or more events during a year.
If I am with events, I'm on events.
If you assist, if you are part of, it could be physical or virtually.
Yeah. How many events?
3 events per year or more?
3, I guess. Or
okay,
maybe.
Yes. All right. Okay. Elisabeth, do you like to be alone?
Once more.
Do you like to be alone?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an introvert person. I get charged when I am alone with Jesus. Yes, I need a lot of time alone.
Nice. And do you think religion makes you comfortable?
Religion?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about religion makes me comfortable. You mean about the frame about religion?
Yeah, like I am talking strictly about religion. If it makes you feel safe, like having those structures. Okay, great.
No.
Okay.
I never. Yeah.
All right, and I don't know if you have any other extra activity or if you are still nursing right now, but
No.
do you think that only art production would be a financial support?
It's actually it does go around, you know, but it's not something to make a living out of yet. But I'm
willing to?
Sorry?
Are you willing to?
Yeah.
Great. Nice. And I have a bonus question. I don't know if you have a paper where to write by hand or you can just think. I'm gonna tell you 5 values.
Okay, I need to write
I'm
them.
gonna ask you to order them according to your priority. So the first one would be the value, the most important value for you, and the last one, the one that's not that important.
Yeah.
So the values are curiosity, generosity, security, discipline, and integrity.
Integrity, I think that is number 1. Generosity, curiosity, discipline, and the last, what was the last one?
Security.
Yeah, I think.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Eagle Tick, I think, is a friend of yours. He's saying hi. I'm here. Hello. Thanks for joining.
Oh, that's nice.
Elisabeth, I know you have a bunch of stories to tell. Is there anything else you would like to let us know now?
Really, just the journey of connecting with Jesus, and it is limitless. He has so much for us to connect to him with. I want to share one story actually, and that was a vision. Maybe you saw the painting I did after that vision with the underwater seascape with all the stones. Do you remember that? Wow. It was, I met Jesus, and he was sitting on the side of a lake, what do you call it? Not a lake. And he said, come on, sit on side with me here, and I want to show you something. And I could see in this water, there were so many stones, beautiful, colorful stones in this water. And I was so pulled and drawn to those stones. And he said, why are you sitting here? Jump in and reach for them. And I did. I dived down to get, and I got one turquoise. What is that color? Like, not blue, but yeah. And it was the color was so vibrant, and I just came up with this stone, and I was just like, wow. And Jesus said, this is one of my revelations, and this sea is the sea of revelation. And I have so many revelations for my people. And I could see, then I heard screaming in the water, and I could see specific people, diving out and coming up with a lot of stones, and were so excited. But then I saw Jesus' face, and he was really sad, and he said, many of my children, they don't dare to come into the water because they're scared to get wet to their hair and everything, and they're just standing looking into the water. And he was really, sad. So he has a ocean of revelation for his children, and he just wants us to dive in and, enjoy his presence and everything he has to show us.
No, yeah, to have the courage to just get in the water.
Yes.
Yes. He's gonna do the rest. We just need to step in.
Yes, that's true. Amazing.
Laurica is saying, good evening from South Africa. I just want to say I love your work.
Oh, thank you so much.
Your painting is so beautiful. Totally agree.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing with us today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Pleasure to have you today and meet you a little bit more.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Until next time. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye, Elisabeth.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. God bless you.
Bless you.